How's it going, everybody? This is DnA-Tvision, and we're back with another episode with Beaumont's one and only Mayor Robin Mouton.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great today.
We are glad that you honored us with your time, and let's get right off into it. Where you grew up at?
Grew up in Beaumont.
What side? What part?
Pear Orchard, Waverly Street.
Waverly Street.
3085 Waverly, to be exact.
Waverly is right by Price? No.
Waverly closer to Beaumont United today,
Okay.
which was Hebert High School off of 6th Street.
Okay. And how was that? You had any siblings?
It was a wonderful life. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
You the oldest?
I'm the oldest of 4.
And how was that?
Always been the boss.
Another mom.
Another mom, right.
Okay.
And you know, grew up in the 60s and 70s, so if your mom said do something, you did it. And of course, when my mom went to work, I was the oldest sibling, so I was always responsible in charge for looking after my sisters and brothers.
Was it father?
Yes.
How was our relationship growing up? Because we focus on a lot of kids growing up fatherless and the effects that it had on them. And how's our relationship?
Well, my daddy worked at Beaumont Professional Men's Club. He was a bartender. He's 82 years old today. My mother's deceased. But of course, grew up in a home with a mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
But if daddy was at work 24 hours, it didn't matter. Because it was whatever daddy said.
The presence was still there.
The presence was there. Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. What elementary school you went to?
I went to West Oakland on Waverly and Iola, which turned into Price.
Okay, I never. That's new.
Price Elementary.
West Oakland. I never heard that name.
West Oakland.
Okay. Who you used to run with? You remember in the childhood friends?
Yes. Friends, still my friends today. Hector Ardwine, Yola Mouton, Douglas West.
Douglas West. Your uncle?
Brother.
Your brother.
Alice Dent.
Mm-hmm.
And those people I'm still friends with today.
Okay, that's good. Middle school?
Middle school, Odom, which is now Odom Academy.
That's where we went. So you had the same friends, and did you play any sports?
Same friends. Yes.
Got off into sports?
Got off into sports. Cheerleader, volleyball.
Carried on through high school?
Track. High school, ran track.
What was that experience like? Did y'all, what grade you graduated?
9th. I finished in 1978.
Okay, what was that? Did you have any ambitions on politics? Politics hadn't even started yet, or?
Politics had not started, but of course, I was always in student council. I always held an office in student government. Was the go-to kid if even the teachers. We had a coach to be fired while I was in high school. And the teachers came to me and they asked me would I lead the walkout. And so I told them, I said, sure, I'll lead the walkout, but not until you call my mom and ask my mom if it's okay. And so they made the arrangement to make sure that they didn't get in trouble with the district and to make sure that I didn't get in trouble in school.
Mm-hmm. You were a senior?
Yeah, I was probably a sophomore at the time.
Oh, big moves.
But I led the walkout, and we marched out of school because he was fired for off-campus personal reasons. Mm-hmm. And of course, at the time, you know, when you're a kid, it's your high school coach, it's your teacher, and you don't understand all of the dynamics of it. We just knew he was a teacher that was fired, and we wanted our coach back.
That's good, man. Did you go to college?
Yes. Well, leaving high school, I went to work for Southwestern Bell, and Southwestern Bell paid for you to go to school.
Okay.
So I worked during the day, and then I went to school from work from 5:30 to 9:30. And then I got this one big raise of $1,200 in 1 month. And I said, School, I'm gonna put you on the back burner. Because you go to school to get a job,
Yeah.
to make more money. And I started making more money.
Mm-hmm.
And so I left school.
How long did it take? How long was it before you went back?
I have not gone back to school.
Took it and ran with it, huh?
I took it and ran with it.
So you've been in Beaumont all your life?
Been in Beaumont all my life. I was really involved in the union, Communication Workers of America, while I worked for Southwestern Bell. Wind up retiring after 32 years with AT&T.
Okay. Was there anything that took place when you were sitting down and made you say, I want to run for mayor, or it accumulated? Or
Let me tell you what happened. I was in New York, and I was at the play Cinderella, and Nene Leakes was on that stage. And I said, if Nene Leakes could go from a housewife to Broadway, I could run for mayor. And I went back home.
Nene Leakes.
Nene Leakes.
Okay, I didn't know she was in it. I didn't know she started acting or doing anything.
She was the fairy godmother
in
on
Cinderella?
Broadway in Cinderella.
Okay.
And I went back home. I called a friend that worked with me at the phone company, and we were in the union together. And I said, I think I'm going to run for city council.
How long you was on the city council? Did you
6
make it your
years.
first time, or is it a vote, or?
I ran my very first time, virtually unknown, and I ran against the incumbent's wife that was giving up the seat, and at that time, the ex-school board president. And I won my first time out.
That's good. So how long were you on the council before you became mayor?
I was on council for 6 years.
6 years.
Councilwoman for Ward 4 for 6 years.
So how has it been?
It's been good. It's a big jump from being a ward council to the mayor, because
You can feel the difference. It's a real big.
it's a big difference. From a ward person, you're responsible for what goes on in your ward predominantly. But as the mayor, you have the inner workings of every organization in the city. You are involved in new businesses coming to the city, ribbon cuttings, dedications, proclamations. Right now, I'm in my 7th month of being the mayor, and I've already had to hire a new city attorney, because our city attorney, after 42 years, retired. And by the way, he's from my neighborhood, Waverly and 6th Street. So we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Oh, really?
And, 7 months ago, we didn't know that was going to happen, but you take on spontaneous roles and you just jump in and you make it happen and you do it. But you don't do it alone, because what a lot of people don't realize, each council member and mayor has 1 vote, and we have a body of 7, and it takes 4 votes to move any agenda item, which is a majority of 7.
You need 4 out of 7.
You need 4 out of the 7.
Even if you put something on the table.
Even if I put something on the table, it doesn't move unless I have 3 other people to support it.
So your vote count then?
My vote count.
Okay.
And in some, and I'm glad you asked that, because in some cities, the mayor is only a tiebreaker.
Wow.
In some cities.
Okay.
And some charters. It depends on, the city is ran by the city charter. So however your charter is established, it's different. Houston has a mayoral ran city. The mayor runs the entire city. Beaumont, our city manager, runs the city, the day-to-day operations, which he has the authority to present to us the ideals of where he sees the city is moving forward. And that's what he's paid to do. And we are not paid, contrary to what people may believe. And the internet says I make $200,000 a year. I so wish that was true. But we receive a stipend for the use of our car, gas allowance of our car, and our cell phone. And that's what we're paid.
Okay. Well, are the changes, what is the next step in the changes in Beaumont would you would like to see being made?
Well, right now, we are interviewing to hire an interim city manager until we hire a permanent city manager, because the city manager also is retiring after 29 years. Lucky me.
Lucky you. That's a long time though, 42 years.
Right, 42
years.
and 29. And it just so happened, it was going to happen to somebody, why not me? So, and that's some challenges that you have to take on as being the mayor of the city. And I welcome it.
You're doing a good job.
Well, thank you. I tell people nobody's perfect. I wish I could walk in and say, I want A, B, and C to happen, and it happens. But it doesn't work that way.
It's not life.
And that's why you have a body and a voting body of 4 to establish everything. Because one individual will come in with their own set agenda to run the entire city. And you have to be mindful of what your job is and what your position is to represent the citizens of this city.
Well, we really thank you. And on a positive note, for the youth, what would be a positive message for the youth of the day?
One of the positive messages for the youth today is to stay positive, stay out of trouble, because what you think is minor today can be a major, long-lasting effect on your life and your future. No one has ever asked anyone to be perfect. You're gonna make mistakes, but look to the guidance of your parents and to your older family members that you can see in a positive light and a positive role model, so that you can keep your life on the straight and narrow, because it doesn't take much to change your life. One small mistake could either be life or death to your future.
Well, we thank you from DnA-Tvision. We thank you for your time, and we are greatly humbled.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to even meet with you. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.